Okay, so now we are going to bake a pecan cobbler. And we're going to start with, first of all, you're going to set your oven to 375, let it preheat. And then we're going to take a 9x13 pan, and we are going to take, this is 6 tablespoons of melted butter, and we're just going to pour that in the pan. Spread it around a little bit. Now you're going to take 1 cup, I've got chopped pecans, and I'm just going to sprinkle those over your melted butter.
Go.
Okay. Next we're going to get a large bowl, and we are going to add in 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. The important thing to remember about flour is when you measure it, you don't scoop it in there, because the flour packs and you end up with more flour in your recipe and it turns out dry. So you want to take your spoon to your measuring cup and drop it in there. And then take a knife and you're going to level it off. And this is really important if you're making cakes. That's one of my secrets. Alright, so now I've got 1.5 cups of flour, and I'm going to add 1.5 cups of white sugar, and then I'm going to pour in 2/3 of a cup of milk, just regular 2% milk, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to mix this until it comes together. You don't want to over mix it, just until it's a batter. Okay, so I combined my ingredients just until it came together to make a nice smooth batter. And so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on top of my pecans. It's kind of thick, but that's okay. And this recipe is going to be slap your mama good, but please don't slap your mama. I wouldn't like that so much. Alright, I'm going to get all that in there. Spread it over those pecans if you can. Try to get it even. Okay. Once you've got your batter over your pecans, you're going to take 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar, and you're just going to sprinkle it over your batter. Once you've got your brown sugar spread evenly over that batter, you're going to take 1.5 cups of hot water, and you're going to pour it on top. And this is, as it cooks, is going to make that really good sauce on the bottom. Alright, and that's all there is to it. Now we're going to put it in the oven and let it cook on 375 for somewhere around 40 minutes. You can check the top of it and see when it's done, and I'll show you how to do that later. I just took the pecan cobbler out of the stove, and this is what it should look like. Your crust should be nice and browned on top. And you can see right there, it's completely done. That's a bread. But around the edges, you see all that delicious sauce on the bottom that it created. Now, I will say this is a new recipe and I'm still tweaking it. So at 40 minutes, when I checked it, it wasn't quite done. The top was starting to brown, but I could tell this part right here wasn't quite finished. So I lowered my oven temperature to 350 and put it back in the oven for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes and let it finish cooking on up without over browning. I wish I could dip into it and show you, but look at that sauce. Don't that look good? Yum. But I've made this for coworkers tomorrow, so I can't dip into it. But try it. It's super easy to make, doesn't take any time. It's going to be one of your favorite recipes.